Arizona's women's hockey wraps up first season as a program. The University of Arizona women's hockey team has completed its first year as an official program in the 2024 to 2025 season. The team would finish 6-15-1, and despite not making it to postseason games, there were many remarkable moments throughout its season. As the first women's hockey team to represent the University of Arizona, fans were thrilled in their first game of the year at the Tucson Convention Center. The arena was packed with fans showing support for their new athletes. They competed against GCU, a well-known competitor in other athletics. The Wildcats ended up falling to GCU 2-1. However, the game was so close that it held no expectations as to how the rest of their season would go. They took on GCU again only 2 days after and came away with a big 5-4 win in Phoenix. This was a significant offensive improvement for the team coming off of their last game, where they could only find the net once. The spacing in between their games arguably left room for the teams to lose momentum. While the Wildcats needed practice and rest in between games, they would travel to North Dakota and fall to Minot State University in 2 back-to-back games. They struggled both offensively and defensively, competing against programs who have been in place for years. Finding goals against these teams were victories in themselves. The day following the brutal losses against Minot State, Arizona played the University of Jamestown. With no rest or practice between their last games, the Wildcats suffered another 8-1 loss. The team wasn't able to find its second win of the season until November 2, 2024, against the University of Denver, where they dominated 6-0 at home. The team traded off wins and losses until they faced GCU again in a 2-game series on Friday, December 6, 2024, and Saturday, December 7, 2024. The Wildcats secured 2 back-to-back wins, 4-3 and 4-0. These were 2 huge wins for the program, noting their prior loss against GCU in their first game of the season. Coming off of winter break, Arizona won their first match back. However, things started to take a turn for the worse as games went on. The team suffered 5 straight losses against a combination of competitors including ASU, who they would play in their final 2 games of the season. They came back for a 5-3 win against Lindenwood University. This game served as a relief after the consecutive losses to tough competitors. Unfortunately, it was short-lived as the Wildcats faced another loss against the same competitor the following day. The program completed their last 2 games of the season against ASU, suffering 2 losses. While the program dealt with more losses than wins, there were still many things to celebrate in their season. There were several Wildcats with impressive results and performances despite the difficulty dealt to them from other teams. Key players. Bryn O'Neill, a freshman forward, led the Wildcats in goals for the season with 11. O'Neill's performances helped secure several wins for the team. However, O'Neill is no longer with the team for undisclosed reasons. Another major role on the team this year was Kenzie Carson, a freshman forward as well. Carson secured 5 goals this season, falling just behind O'Neill. She scored many of the Wildcats' goals towards the end of the season, becoming a crucial player on the ice. On the defensive end, Olivia Sorley, freshman goalie, often kept the team in the game with numerous impressive saves in front of the net. For the season, only 85 goals were scored against the Wildcats, credit to Sorley's efforts.
Key game.
The Wildcats took on the University of Denver on November 2, 2024, and came away with a dominant 6-0 win. This was the team's first shutout of the season, as well as the highest number of goals they scored in a single game throughout the entire season. O'Neill and Carson led the team with 2 goals each for the game. Brittany Bridell, a junior forward, secured a goal in the second period of the match. The Wildcats' final goal was scored by Hannah Strand, a freshman forward. Arizona got 46 shots off on Denver's goalie, an impressive offensive attempt. On the contrary, Denver earned 23 shots, not one of them finding the back of the net. This was a huge game for the Wildcats and served as a crucial game to move them forward halfway through their season. Looking ahead, the Wildcats roster was filled with freshmen, a sign that the program will continue to build after this season. As the team spends more time building chemistry on and off the ice, they are sure to improve and find new looks in the 2025 to 2026 season. Entering its second year as a program, Arizona's women's hockey team has a bright future ahead of them.